we're going to add fractions, and if we know what fractions means, what they mean, then it's easier. Now, your calculators will do these. And by the way, I now have the software on my computer. I even think it works. It doesn't work in my other room. Okay, so this is telling me that I have a pie that's divided into 8 parts. See, I think if you understand this, you have a better chance of not adding the denominators, because you can't add the denominators. So this says I want 2 out of the 8. That's what this one says. So there's 1, there's 2, and I suppose I could use my smart tools up there and do this properly. And then I'm going to add to it 5 more pieces out of the 8. Let's see, 3, 4, 5. And I do have, well, I don't know what you have on your things, but I do have crayons back there. So how many pieces will I have altogether? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what do we do with the numerators? If the denominators, that's the down number. Can you remember it that way? Denominators down. Just a quick way to remember it. If the denominators are the same, what do you do to the numerators? 2 and 5, what do I have to do to those to get 7? And add them. Okay? That's it. So it's easy if the denominators are the same. If the denominators are not the same, then it's not easy. So I'm going to write this down as a step. And you can just save, I mean, this is all going to go up on Schoology, so you could download it onto your iPad if you want. If the denominators are the same.
Can I write that in my remarks?
Yes, you can write it right on the notes. Then add the numerators. I just have to give you time. So you are going to help me with that. Oh, you have to select the pen. So up here at top, you were in remarks, right? Are you not in remarks? Oh, no, we're not. Open in. Hey. Oh, is this mine?
Yeah, this is your iPad.
Well, we're going to open a Notability. I don't know. I have remarks on it. I don't know why it didn't come up. But Notabilities. The denominators, it'll come up. Should come up. Whoops. No, new note. There you go. And now you can do this. And then you can write. So if you want to write, there you go. But, no, I still have the pen in my hand, right? I can do this.
I have really bad handwriting, so I don't know if I'm anywhere.
It's tough, but you know you can stretch this. You know, like this, you can pinch. And we did those. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we did those too, which we had some problems with. I know, this isn't even, it's just not in the right order, so. There we go. So you can do this, and now you can write. Now I'm in red. You have lots of colors. Just press here. Okay, make sure you're not touching anything. There you go. Got way more colors in Notability.
How do you make the font size bigger?
Make this bigger. No, this.
I know.
Oh.
You just pinch.
Oh, okay.
But it won't. I have to be in the pen mode, I guess, to pinch it. See, like that?
Okay.
Hey, I had my iPhone for a while before I learned about the pinching piece. I'm going, geez, I can't read this. It's not a very good phone. I can't read it. And finally, somebody says, yeah, you just pinch it. Okay. Okay, so the denominators are the same. You just add the numerators. And then, but other things could happen. So then, if this happens, you might have to reduce your fraction. Well, can I reduce 7/8? Is that reducible? Is there a number that goes into both 7 and 8 evenly, besides 1? D-E-N. That's what I do. Not on me. Well, I might. I can look. And then, after you reduce your fraction, you may have a mixed number. We are going to do that just in this unit. If you have an improper fraction, change the improper fraction to a mixed number. In algebra, we don't do that. I'll give you an example. Now that's the number sign. If I'm lazy. If I have a recipe and it calls for 3/4 of a cup of flour, and I want to double my recipe, well, that means I'm going to have 3/4 plus 3/4, right? You're going to put that amount in twice, okay, Evan? What's 3/4 plus 3/4? 6. Remember what you do, add the numerators, and the denominators stay the same. Denominators are still the same because it's how big a piece it was. You're not counting it. It doesn't make sense. So this is 6 parts out of 4 parts. Can I reduce that? Yeah, what goes into both 6 and 4? 2. I'm showing them why we would change an improper fraction to a mixed number. Hmm? We are on the page that looks like this. It's in the notes. 2012-13, yeah. Okay, what does that reduce to? What's 6 divided by 2? Notice I'm not putting an equal sign in because it's not an equation. What's 4 divided by 2? What's half of 4? 2. Okay, this is an improper fraction. And maybe this weekend I'll get to my vocabulary sheet that I want you to have. Improper fraction, the top number or the numerator is larger than the denominator. So it's not proper. Now in algebra, I would leave it 3/2. However, if I'm cooking and I need 3/4 of a cup of flour and another 3/4 of a cup of flour, and I realize that's 3/2, if I realize what that is, that's 3/2 cups, I could do it that way, or I don't do it that way. I say that's improper. Let's change this to a mixed number. And remember, since the top is so much bigger than the denominator, it falls over. So it's 2 goes into 3. How many times? Once. Then you go 1 times 2. Casey, do you remember this? And then you you subtract these. 3 take away 2 is 1. And you get 1 part left out of halves, right? So 3/2 is equal to 1/2. So I'm going to need 1/2 cups of flour. Honestly, I do this all the time, or I might take halves of recipes. The only thing I can say is if you do that, make sure you double everything. I made chocolate chip cookies, and I was going the other way. I was taking half, and I forgot to take half of the salt. That was like eating Play-Doh. Oh, it was awful. You just have to remember to do those things. So that's what we have to do. If you don't have common denominators, I don't think we're going to get to that today because I'm looking at the clock. Maybe, but we'll see. I'm not sure what this is and you don't have it. So let's go here. So now this is a multiple choice. And you know, actually, I could have put it into, I didn't think about that till just now. I could have put that either into Skyward or Schoology to kind of quiz you on that. Okay, Josh? What's 3/8 and 3/8? So you're going to show some work here. 6/8. Okay, do not add those denominators. If you think about what it means, you won't do that because this means I divided my pie into 8 parts. I'm going to count 3. I'm going to add 3 more. But what's the problem with 6/8? I don't have any spaces. I like the worksheet, but I don't like the way it's laid out. What's the problem with 6/8, George? Is it reduced? No. What goes into 6 and 8? And you know what? I've been in this for a long time. I still show this because I mess up if I don't. 6 divided by 2 is, no, half of $6. 3. And your calculator will do it automatically. So check with the calculator. The thing is when you leave here, you don't have that calculator. You can buy little fraction calculators if you want to. Or you can just say, I need to know how to do this to survive in the real world. I don't want this to get in the way of your learning algebra when we get to that part. This is just to arm you with some tools. So 3/4, which one's 3/4? A, B, C, or D? B. And you can, add, there's room on your page probably to scroll it up and show some work if you need to. At least I'd like to see what this is, and then you can figure out which one this is. Well, part of what you can do is figure out which one it's not. What's this going to be? I'm going to add those. Am I going to add the 12s? Go by Missy? You go by Missy. Melissa. Melissa. Okay. What's this going to be? What's the denominator? I do the easy part first. It's 12. And 3 and 6 is 9. When you get into the algebra, you're going to have to do less of this. That's arithmetic. I don't like it. So which one is 9/12? George, you know which one it is? If you need to show the work, we'll show the work. What goes into 9 and 12? Yeah. There you go. That's 3/4. When I wrote this, it became clearer to you. So write it. Okay, you go through a little more pencil lead. I have lots of pencils, so that's not an excuse. No viruses for our pencils. What do you do when you subtract? Am I going to subtract the denominators? You cut the pie into 9 parts. It's not going to disappear, is it? No, it's not. But how many pieces? There were 7 pieces in the pie, but Jeremiah ate 2. How many are left? 5. Subtraction is usually not going to be reducible, but not always, but usually not. So let's see, which answer is that one? I don't see it because I don't have my board up far enough. Okay, which one is that? Melissa, which one is that? A, B, C, D? That's 9/9. That's 5/9. Because we're subtracting. Yeah, so there it is. Okay, try these. I'm going to let you read this. You might want to draw a picture, but they gave you 2 fractions, and one's not reduced because they gave you common denominators. So you guys try that. I'll check with you real quick. And then there's a little bit of practice for you. But oh, this got goofed up a little bit, but that's okay. Do we have that on there? I think you do. So you can try, and then go ahead and do this practice. We're not going to have any homework, so that's okay. Do they have that page? Yeah.
You know, when this is spinning like that and it just keeps going, server stopped responding. But do you have any idea how to pass that?
No, because I think that's a problem.